we're going to have some fun. What I want you to do in a moment, after all the instructions, is make your way back to the tables where you were. On each table is a sheet of newsprint. It's got a line down the middle. On the left it says good, on the right it says challenging. I want you to get with folks, and what you might want to do for this exercise is maybe don't get with your best friends or folks that you know well. Mix yourselves up as best you can. Find folks maybe you don't know it as well. At each of the tables, there's 10 of them. And I'd like for you to take about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to do this quick. I wish I had more time for that. And I want you to take half the time, and I'll yell when it's about time to start looking at the other stuff. But focus on the good first. Just write down anything that you want to about what Advent does well and what we should feel good about. There's a lot. And then we're going to look at where do we challenge a little bit? What do we wish we were doing that we're not doing? What are some things we can maybe do better? You're looking in a mirror, and you're trying to look at it honestly. And then we'll come back and share. Need somebody to be a scribe? There's markers at each table. Once we're done, we'll put them up on those partitions over there, and maybe kind of share what you come up with.
Yeah, I mean.
And I don't know how
Vacation Bible school is really changed.
so much. But what hasn't happened
Once a month and the same.
Okay, I know some of you are doing both sides. Some of y'all have just done the left side. Now would be the time to do the right side if you haven't already started it. You can keep adding to the left side. That's okay.
More youth.
revenue.
Figuring out what you're good at.
That's what that reminds me.
What we want to do today, again, is just awareness. We're not going to try to fix stuff that's maybe challenging. We're going to sing praises for the stuff that's going well. But this is just, again, an awareness day to kind of see where we are. And this is, you notice I did not go in any group. Okay? Jen didn't go in any group. Okay? Staff kind of lets you do your thing. This is your words, not mine. All right. Good. We've got youth ministry. Woo! Education ministry. Yes! Variety of music options. Woo! Challenging. Keeping new ministries going. That could be a challenge anyway. It's finding the people that get energized around. Grow existing ministries. That can be challenging too. How often do we find folks? How many of you have been doing the same thing for a long time? Okay? How many of you that have been doing the same thing for a long time might want to get someone else to do what you're doing so you can do something else? Right? Good leaders, which I got to be careful with this because I'm doing a lot of the same stuff too. But one of the things you try to do in leadership is train others to take your place. You want to work yourself out of a job. Healthy congregations have folks who are constantly working themselves out of jobs because they've got other folks who are trained to kind of do it, and then they also trust them to add their flavor to it, and they don't go back and say, well, you know, when I was in charge of that ministry, we did it this way. Yes. It's hard, and that's hard to let go, isn't it? Right? Publicize and invest in accomplishments. Yes, we're going to touch on that a little bit later. We're going to just know new things like new website, new design for newsletter, and all those kinds of things are in the works down the road soon, hopefully. All right, any other thoughts on this from this group? Okay, good. Worship. Ooh. Pastoral leadership. Yeah. Butter me up today. I got you.
Not pastor.
Right? Historically. And the jury is still out on the new guy, right? I got you. Okay. 20 years. We got music, welcoming, nice facility, absolutely. Stephen ministry, absolutely. Fellowship ministry, woo. This is proof of our fellowship. Preschool, our education program, and good lay participation. Challenging, lay leadership, stewardship. You're going to hear a lot more about that this fall. I have a passion for that. Leaking roof. Yes, however, my internship church had a leak. My first calling had a leak. Every church I've ever been a pastor or intern in had a leak somewhere. It's just something that comes with the church. Music in the choir, okay? Yeah, I want to see more folks singing. And maybe we're going to start talking about a little more variety too with some music stuff over there. Membership and youth, in quotes. I'm taking that to mean we've got, and wait till you see the graphs. We're a little bit more of an older congregation. Not old, but older. Mentoring of youth, and every church can be focusing on that. And youth itself, trying to grow the youth ministry. I will say this about our youth ministry, my kids are enjoying youth ministry like they've never enjoyed it before. Woo! What we do, we got some challenges with it because we still got to figure out ways to kind of grow it and get word out to others. But what we do is some good stuff. And I'm having fun with people in this right now. Good, property board. Okay, the property board do this? We're friendly, we're talkative, we're welcoming, we're supportive. Stewardship. In this how we have stewardship is good and stewardship is challenging. Depends on how we're looking at things. Okay? And that's okay. That's okay. Music. Good. Challenging. Become more active. Reach those who aren't Lutheran. Include more contemporary music. Traditional and contemporary service to meet needs of both groups. Sharing more information about activities, opportunities to use our talents. Yeah, communication piece. And every church I know has would love to, even the ones that are communicating well, still wish they did it better. So we're going to keep working on that. How to make change matter. Not just change for change's sake. I meant to say that in the introduction today too. When you say that word change, if you change just to change, don't change. There's got to be a reason why you're doing it. No complaints without a solution. Yeah, someone told me not too long ago that one of the things, and it's true of most organizations, they're often able to label what's wrong. But very seldom do we come up with ways to make it right. And a lot of people who complain about what's wrong aren't willing to step up and be a part of the solution. Now, I would never expect that at Advent. Okay. Good. Youth, fellowship, fun-loving congregation. I agree with that. Social ministry, engaging pastor.
Oh, somebody.
Historical. Check the handwriting.
Stop being engaged.
Stop being engaged. I'm already married. Talent. Absolutely. We got talent out the kazoo in this place, and a lot of it hasn't been tapped yet. And I've seen more and more of it.
Their other side.
Yeah. Oh. Need to tap talent. The challenge. Participation, evangelism, worship, age of congregational members, finances, retention of members. Need to tap the talent. Our location. Yeah, part of our issue is we're tucked in here behind Kmart. You can't see us on landing. How many people are
We're not behind Kmart. We're behind where Kmart.
where Kmart used to be? Now, if you haven't heard this story yet, I got wind of the Kmart closing about a week before they took their sign out there that they were going to start closing. Mission developer pastor, you know what my first thought was? It wasn't, I wonder how much stuff I can go get for cheap. It was, man, what ministry we could do in that building, on that property right on the planet. Can you imagine if we had that as a separate second worship center and outreach ministry opportunity? We got the parking right there. So we got to convince the ELCA that there's a building we might be able to buy. I don't think it's sold yet. Okay, it's probably already sold.
Last one.
Oh! Clicky groups.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later too. Yeah. That's a danger in every congregation. And a lot of us that are in clicky groups, and we're all probably a part of some type of clicky group, if we're honest, don't realize we're being clicky. And that's one we have to watch for. Good. We have fellowship, music, prayer, worship, vacation Bible school. Yeah, awesome VBS. And again, we did an incredible VBS at my last congregation. I'm very proud of the stuff we used to do down there, and I brag about it all the time, and we topped it here. I didn't think it could. You did. It was good. Support systems, Stephen Ministry, property, our volunteers. We're Spirit-filled, our social ministry, pastoral support. Challenging, the 20 to 30 group. Yeah, let you see the graphs. 20% doing majority of the work. Sort of. Everybody goes out there, you've always heard the 80-20 rule. Okay? Get that out of your head. Advent's going to get beyond any kind of 80-20. We're going to work past that. But you do have, a lot of times in any organization, a smaller percentage of folks who are doing a majority of the work. Well, there are reasons for that. Part of that is because we got to find more folks that are willing to do it. Part of it's because sometimes we have control over those things in ways, and we have some folks, well, I would do something, but I've never been asked. Or I would do something, but every time I go to do it, they tell me I'm doing it wrong and not the way they like to do it. And they're not listening to my idea. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why that happens. So we'll work on that in the months to come. Communication. Yeah, we got to do a much better job of that. And we're going to. Create joy through music. Okay? Yeah, we got to work on it. Keep involved the youth. Yeah, youth like to be somewhat involved and sometimes but not. And well, wait till you see the graphs. This is so important. And they're such an important piece of what we do. Evangelism. Yeah, how many of you, well, wait till you see the numbers of how many of you actually invited somebody. Financial giving to support the programs. Biblical literacy. That's true of almost every Lutheran church I know. In fact, even today, I didn't ask you to bring Bibles. I've got a Bible study we're going to do in a little bit where I've actually printed out all the verses for you. I did that because of time today. Because we're trying to fit so much in. But there's so many folks that have no clue. One day, in fact, I may do this on a sermon someday. I asked everybody to tell me if Hezekiah was in the I can't remember. I came up with some king's name. There's no book in the Bible, okay? And said, which testament is that book in? And Old or New? And of course, all these hands went up for Old Testament. A few went up for New Testament. I said, there's no book in the Bible by that name. Location, demographics, yeah. And need to grow. Good, friendliness, welcoming, family-oriented, caring, food, fellowship, sermon. Oh, thank you, sermons. That should have been in bold. No. I'm kidding. Music, talent, youth program, building worship space, designated worship music space. Challenging music. Yeah, music is a thing that we all have our taste. And some folks love what we do. Some folks wish we were with others. And that's where we're going to get into the variety stuff a little bit. Outreach, senior activities, new leaders stepping up. Yeah, again, going back to the same folks doing the stuff. Workday participation. Yeah, we get the same crew out here every month. They do great work. Discerning gifts. Yeah, when was the last time you did kind of a spiritual gifts inventory and then did something with it? Have you ever had a time where you did how many of you ever taken a spiritual gifts inventory? After you took it, did you sit down with somebody who actually helped you interpret it one-on-one? Yes. Okay. And did they push you into, or kind of, not push, but kind of encourage you into a certain area of ministry? Yes. Okay. All right. How long ago was that?
Years.
Years. Okay. All right. That's something we may want to be looking at with our stewardship down the road. Keeping young people. Keeping, that can be interpreted a number of different ways, but yeah, keeping the young people in the tribe. I know what you meant by it. Absent member follow-up. Yeah, how many of you know folks that aren't here that used to be here a lot? Right? Now, keep your hand up. Now, those with your hands up. How many in the last 2 or 3 weeks have called or talked to one of those people? Okay, a few hands are still up. Okay. Visitor follow-up, yeah, we're going to work on that too. Inviting to join ministry to come to worship. Yeah, again, you're going to see the number. Good. Planted a new church, Crossroad. Yeah, Advent's done it. You planted Mandarin, you planted Crossroad, you planted
Lord of Life.
Lord of Life out in Ponte Beecher, and I think one other one.
Shepherd of the Woods.
Shepherd of the Woods. And that's where my mom and dad go. So thank you for that. Fellowship, music, Via de Cristo, and tech. Yeah, my kids are going for the first time. I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm excited for two reasons. One, their journey with Christ and being with, and I just can't wait for them to go do that. And two, it's Labor Day weekend, and they're both gone. Now if I can just get out of having to do worship on Sunday night. Let's see where we're. Okay, we're good. LEM. Lay Eucharistic Ministers. Gotcha. Okay. I'm used to that all being spelled out. Yeah, we've got a lot of folks that go out and share communion with our folks in the community. The band, woohoo! I'm having fun, and they're putting up with me. It's great. Rehearsals are fun. And that's my fix. I had the same thing at my last church. Thursday nights was band rehearsal time, and it was a chance for me to let my hair down, and I still get to do that. So thank you, band, for letting me come and interrupt what y'all do. Deacons, we got 4 incredible folks that are deacons. I had 5 at my last church, and I use them in special ways, and I'm looking forward to doing even more with our deacons as we move forward. Quilting, yeah, and you know what the quilters do well besides quilt? Food. And I'm trying to get in the habit of being in here when they do the food, when they're here to quilt. But Stephen Ministry, Active Youth, VBS, Music Camp. Yeah, both of those this summer were great events. I had fun with both of those. Feast of Plenty, Labor Ready Meal, our preschool. Challenging, okay, we're back with music again. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're not doing we'd love to be doing. Communication, Eagles Wings Messenger. Yeah, we're going to look at redesign of these things. And we're going to look and start coordinating stuff. I talked with the council the other night, and again, I'm just planting a few seeds. One of the things I see is all of our different ministry boards, if they want to go publicize something, they just go do it. But it doesn't go through the church office. It's not coordinated. We got sign-up sheets that all look different. We've got one person on one board who says, well, I know so-and-so at the Clay today, so they go. And then there's something in the Clay today, and the pastor hadn't even seen, doesn't know anything about it. And I asked Rebecca, and she didn't know anything about it. It's great being publicized, but what we want to start doing is just kind of coordinating. We still want the ministry boards to do their thing and come up with what you want done. But we might start about how do we, that way we can make sure it gets out, we can make sure it gets timely, we can make sure it's not scheduled on top of something else that's going to happen and save time. We can make sure it's got information on it. In fact, there was a flyer put out not too long ago that we were going to send out to kids that went to Vacation Bible School. And it was a great flyer, but it didn't have the church address or phone number on it. Well, that's kind of an important thing to have on there. It's very easy for somebody on the ministry board to put a really neat flyer together and just forget to do that. And so that if it goes through the church office, it's a chance for us just to kind of proof stuff, just make sure it's all being kind of coordinated together. Let's see, where, this one? Okay. Let's see. Lessons of life.
I'll
Speak to
answer to that. How many people know or don't know what lessons of life is?
No, that wouldn't be all of us.
Yeah.
Lessons of Life is the contemporary Bible study that Heather Schiffer does, except for some. They have 6 participants average. And a lot of people don't even know where it is or what it is. It's in room 211.
So there's the communication piece coming into play right there. Okay. All right. Torty group.
20, 30.
20, 30, 40. Yeah. Oh, you guys have been sneaking into my graphs, haven't you? Children's Sunday school attendance. Yeah, we're going to work on that too. A lot of this stuff will grow out of a lot of these other things. Community outreach and awareness, greeting new people and visitors, handicap access and parking. We're talking about that a little bit too. You all know what it is. But the first time guest to this place has no clue what house.
We did change
You changed the name?
Nobody ever refers to it by the names.
We've had Jolly Elders, we've had Young at Hearts, we've had Silver Seniors, we've had all kinds of things. That was kind of cute. But my point is, a lot of what is easy to do in a church is what we know. Well, everybody knows what Alpha is. Well, your pastor didn't. I had a guest. The first time guest who shows up here on a Sunday morning, and they open up an announcement sheet, you have to give them more information than you think. And one of the dynamics is, and I told the church council, when I'm sharing stuff with them, vision and mission and things like that, when they start to get sick and tired of hearing it, it's like, oh my gosh, Pastor, if you say that one more time. At that moment, that's when a majority of the congregation is probably getting it for the first time. And your folks that aren't here as often or are new to the faith or have been visiting, they're still brand new to what we're saying. So if you're starting to get sick and tired of hearing some things that I'm saying, just know that means you're in the group that's finally really getting it. But know that there are a lot of other folks who aren't where you are yet. Okay? We got the wrong one? This one? I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Good. Fellowship, food, puppet ministry, yeah! Social ministry, youth ministry, service with enthusiasm and balloons. This is cool. I've had people tell me how excited they were when we let the balloons go. I saw people smiling, and I had folks tell me that they thought that was the goofiest, stupidest thing in a sermon they'd ever seen. And you know what? They're both right. They're both right. It wasn't meant to be either of those. It did make a point. Not everybody's going to like everything. Trust me. I drive home every Sunday, and there are things in worship that I feel really good about, and there are things in worship that I'm going, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that, or I wish I had done that better, or we should have done this. There are things, I am the biggest critic of what I do and what we do. So it's okay if not everybody likes it. In fact, if everybody likes everything all the time, comfort, boring, and it means your pastoral leadership and lay leadership are not doing what God's called us to do. We should be lighting fires. The Word of God inspires us. The Word of God lights fires. The Word of God challenges us. And the Word of God, we're supposed to be a servant church, sacrifice, take up our cross, deny self. Right? Education, preschool, funeral, repast. Yeah, we do great with funerals and the fellowship afterwards. It says all events. Vacation Bible School, summer youth camps, L1MF and Luther Rock, Stephen Ministry. So we got Lighthouse School, music, and welcoming. They're right on the line, meaning good and challenging. Okay, I got that. Challenging, outreach, visitation, communication with a ton of stars. Yes. Yes, this is one of the things I've been struggling with here. Youth growth, evangelism, stewardship, inertia. I don't know what that means, but tell me who wrote this one. Give me exactly what you had in mind when you wrote that.
With inertia,
Yeah.
continuing to do things the way they are just because you're already moving in that direction.
Yes.
Right.
Pastor, we've always done it this way. The 7 deadly words of the church. Oh, here we go. Location. I'm glad you're looking at me straight. I should have color-coded these. LMF. Gone. Oh, we used to go to, yeah.
It's not there anymore. So
All right. Oh, that's right. There is no LMF in the Senate. Yeah. Luther Rock, senior activities. We've missed you. Yeah. Again, how many folks do you know that have been away for a while? Sunday school, younger youth groups. Yeah, right now we've got the junior, senior high together. Well, wouldn't it be great if we had 3 different youth groups for different ages, so be more age specific. Access to property and facilities. Okay. Good. Fellowship, compassion, property, social ministry, ministry to homebound, youth engagement, worship, music, quilters, preschool, faith. Challenging, attracting younger families. Change is a challenge. Change isn't a challenge. Anywhere. Property, workday participation or funding. Mission, locally and volunteers. Communication, outreach. Tithing, financial, faith, and organizational and volunteers. And then one last one with a ton of stuff on it. If it's not broke, don't fix it mentally. Or mentality. Oh, then that's a challenge. And if it's not broken, don't fix it. There's good and bad in that. There is some good. If stuff's going well, and it is going well, and it works well, that's where you don't change for change that. But if you have a mentality of everything's working fine, there's nothing to fix. Okay? Good. Fellowship, season ministry, DBS, welcoming, preschool, education, preparing food. Underline, exclamation point. Music-based things, bringing people to Christ, helping a friend in need, building and grounds, our music camp, great pastor, buttering it up again. Cohesive, good bonding, additional Bible studies, hardworking, messenger, and great children. Are you including mine?
Yes.
Challenge! Funding, outreach, communication, evangelism, programs, community, music with question mark, smiley face, exclamation points, organization, non-Sunday activities. So we do a lot of stuff on Sundays, don't we? Evaluation. Yeah. How about this evaluation today? Look down here. How important this is. Growth. Appealing to unchurched of all ages. We'll talk about that. Too comfortable. Boy, y'all been having to be playing today, haven't you? Change! Clarity of vision. That's part of what this is all about to start. Insulation. We are kind of insulated here in many ways, both especially physically. Excitement. We need more excitement. All right, very quickly, because we're about 5 minutes past where I want to be. What themes do you see at play here? Youth. Change. Communication.
Things are both good and bad.
Yeah, things are both good and bad. We have a lot to be thankful for and excited about. That's what I said at the very beginning. And we need to celebrate those things. But we also have challenges ahead of us. And again, these aren't my words. These are your words. But I would agree with a lot of things. Yeah. And they're all workable. These are all things that we can work on and improve. You just said a key word. She said we're all aware of them. Because notice how most of these things are showing up on all the sheets. Okay? I told you today is going to be a day of awareness. Okay? A lot of today is going to be, well, duh. It's going to be, well, I knew that. Like the Geico commercials. Yeah. Well, did you know that words really can't hurt you? Right? Well, yeah, a lot of this is just, boom, is stuff that, and a lot of what's up here is what almost every denominational church is facing today. There are ELCA churches all over the country that are struggling with this. There are Episcopalian churches, there are Methodist churches, Presbyterian. Right? But that doesn't mean we should say, well, everyone's having that problem, so. No. Why can't we be the exception? Why can't we be the leader? A little bit of what I'm going to share with you today comes out of a pamphlet that was sent to me by the Florida Bahama Synod. And as I already had in mind what I was going to do for today, and as I started flipping through it the other day, it came in the mail just last week. It's a Bible study and a mission planning type of activity. It's almost exactly what I was going to be planning for today anyway. What excites me about that is a lot of us who did mission development the last 15, 20 years have been trying all kinds of things. Things that have worked, we've gone back and I've been a part of a number of what they call best practices gatherings where they said any pastor of a church that's grown significantly, we're going to bring in, we're going to talk about how you did what you did, and so we're going to learn from it. And what's come out of that now is, and we're not taking credit for it, but what's a lot of what we experimented with in the last 15, 20 years, some of it was pretty decent. And some of it's worked, and now the national church is starting to jump on board and really push it.